The day the honky-tonk hit Manhattan, Blake Shelton's explosive meltdown on The View. It was a crisp October morning in New York City, the kind where the autumn leaves crunch under cowboy boots that rarely see sidewalks. Blake Shelton, 6 feet 5 inches of Oklahoma grit, faded denim, and that trademark grin, strode onto the iconic The View stage like he owned the place. The audience erupted. Whoopi Goldberg beamed, Sonny Hostin clapped politely, and Joy Behar leaned forward with that mischievous sparkle in her eye that spells trouble for anyone south of the Mason-Dixon line. Blake was there to plug his brand new album, Backroad Revival, a 14-track love letter to small-town America, Friday night lights, tailgate beers, and songs about mamas who pray harder than they party. He'd just wrapped a sold-out residency in Vegas and was riding high after co-hosting the CMAs with his old pal Reba. "Y'all ready for some real country?" He drawled into the mic, tipping his Stetson. The crowd roared. Commercial break. Everything felt easy. Then Joy Behar opened her mouth. The segment started innocently enough. Whoopi tossed softball questions about Gwen Stefani, how's married life treatin' ya? His ranch life, do the cows miss you when you're on tour? And his infamous mullet phase, business in the front, party in the back, regrets. Blake laughed, shared a story about teaching his stepkids to fish, and even sang an impromptu snippet of his new single, Dirt Road Gospel. But Joy, ever the provocateur, waited until the applause died down. She adjusted her glasses, smiled that half-smirk, and went for the jugular. "Blake," she began, voice dripping with daytime TV honey, "your songs paint this picture-perfect small-town America. But let's be real, some of those towns are struggling with opioids, factory closures, and folks clinging to guns and religion like it's 1950. Isn't country music just selling a fantasy to people who feel left behind? And honey, with all due respect, aren't you part of the problem, making millions off their pain while cozying up to politicians who don't lift a finger?" The studio went dead silent. You could hear the air conditioning hum. Blake's easy smile froze. His fingers tightened around the coffee mug the producers had handed him. Alyssa Farah Griffin tried to interject with a nervous laugh. Anna Navarro's eyes widened. Whoopi leaned back, sensing the storm. Blake set the mug down, hard. The ceramic clink echoed like a gunshot. "Joy," he said, voice low and steady at first, that Oklahoma thunder rumbling underneath, "I've buried friends because of those opioids. I've watched mills close in Ada, where I grew up, and seen daddies cry 'cause they can't feed their kids. My music ain't a fantasy, it's a lifeline. It's the soundtrack to folks getting back up after life's kicked 'em in the teeth." The audience started murmuring. Joy, unfazed, doubled down. "Oh, come on, Blake. You're worth what? $120 million. You fly private, live in mansions. Easy to sing about grit when you're sipping champagne with Hollywood liberals like your wife." That did it. Blake shot to his feet, chair scraping backward. His face flushed redder than a Georgia clay road after rain. "You don't know me, Joy. You sit here in your New York bubble, judging hard-working Americans you've never met. I've hauled hay, changed oil, and played bars for gas money. My fans, they're nurses working double shifts, veterans fighting nightmares, single moms praying the lights stay on. And yeah, I love my wife. She's from Orange County, but she gets it. She gets us." He jabbed a finger toward the camera. "You wanna talk politics? Fine. But don't you dare disrespect the people who built this country, the ones buyin' my records, fillin' my shows, and keepin' the Heartland beat goin'. That's not a fantasy. That's America, the one you forgot exists west of the Hudson." Gasps rippled through the crowd. A few audience members started clapping. Others looked shell-shocked. Sonny Hostin reached for Blake's arm. "Blake, let's take a breath," but he shrugged her off. Whoopi stood up, moderator mode activated. All right, commercial. We're going to break." But Blake wasn't done. He ripped off his mic pack, wires dangling like a cowboy's lasso gone wrong. "Nah, Whoop, I'm good. Y'all have a nice day preachin' to your choir." He turned on his boot heel, strode past the blinking applause sign, and disappeared behind the curtain. Stagehands scattered like spooked cattle. The Hot Topic graphic froze on screen. Blake Shelton, Country King or Culture Warrior. Cut to commercial. Twitter, sorry, X, exploded. Hashtag Blake vs Behar shot to #1 worldwide within minutes. Clips, grainy phone videos from the control room racked up 50 million views. Memes flooded feeds. Blake riding off on a mechanical bull labeled, "Triggered," Joy as a cartoon villain twirling a mustache. Country radio stations played his new single on loop, calling it the anthem we needed. Backstage chaos ensued. Producers begged Blake to return. Gwen Stefani FaceTimed from LA, "Babe, breathe. They're baiting you," his manager paced, yelling about lawsuits and ratings gold. Joy, unapologetic, told a producer off camera, "I asked a question." He answered with a tantrum. By the time the show returned, Whoopi was solo at the table. "Well, that was something," she sighed. Blake Shelton, everybody. Or, not everybody. Let's move on to our next guest, Dolly Parton. Dolly, bless her, later tweeted, "Love Blake. Love Joy. Love everybody. Now can we all just get along over some dumplings?" The fallout, epic. ABC's ratings spiked 40%, highest in 5 years. Blake's album pre-orders tripled overnight. iTunes country chart dominated. Joy Behar doubled down on her podcast. "If asking about inequality triggers a millionaire cowboy, maybe we should talk more." Conservative outlets hailed Blake as a hero. "Finally, someone tells Hollywood elites where to shove it." Liberal pundits scoffed. "Classic fragile masculinity. Grow a thicker skin, cowboy." Blake, he flew straight to Nashville, posted a black and white Instagram selfie from his tractor, "Still standin' by my dirt roads and my people." New album drops Friday. Turn it up loud. Cowboy hat face hashtag Backroad revival. 3 days later, he surprised everyone by inviting Joy to his Oklahoma ranch for a cook-off and conversation livestream. She accepted. Ratings prophecy. 100 million tuned in. They grilled steaks, debated politics over sweet tea, and ended hugging it out while Blake taught her to two-step. America watched, divided then delighted. In the end, the explosion wasn't destruction, it was detonation of dialogue. One fiery confrontation reminded us, sometimes, you gotta blow up the stage to build a bigger one. And that's the long, wild, true-ish tale of how Blake Shelton turned The View into the Wild West, and walked away a legend. The end, or just the encore? Word count. 1048 plenty long, twice the drama, 0 apologies.